Hello, Mil Spec, and scratch my ass. How you doing? Taking a look at some news here. I want to talk about something. I'm hoping I can articulate it the way I want to. I got it in my mind, but it's how I articulate it. And a lot of people are misled to believe there's multiple classes of people. There's rich, there's poor, there's black, there's white, there's haves and have-nots, and it's all bullshit. It's all used to divide us. There's only two classes of people, folks. And I really would like to lay off the silver conversation just for about 10 minutes and really try to understand what I'm trying to articulate. Only two classes of people, folks. There's the slaves and there's the elite government, the people who control us. The slaves do not know they are slaves. Some of us do, but for the most part, most don't. And the government tricks the slaves into not knowing they're slaves. In fact, the slaves think they even elect their own politicians. See, there's been a lot of psychological tests done. A slave will actually work harder if he does not know he is a slave. True statement. You got the government, the elite, along with all the broadcasting systems, producing news for you, bombarding you, burying you with propaganda 24/7. Who you should hate. Oh, the blacks need to hate the whites and the whites need to hate the Mexicans. Everybody's your enemy. So we go to a mall or wherever we go shopping, and the men walk around like this, all nervous, like someone's going to beat them up, and everybody's freaking nervous that the other person is nervous. You know, it is quite comical. The news helps the elite, the government. The government has you fooled that they're working for you. Have you ever heard of a servant making more money than the boss? You're the boss, yet they're making millions and millions of dollars, pretty much doing nothing, pretty much just making more laws and rules that you must abide by. They got multiple houses on every coast of the United States, including in other countries, yet you're the boss. We work for you. We're your servant. Try to think about that for a second, folks. Do they really work for you? Are they really performing an act of public service that they so brilliantly brainwash the people that they're doing? John McCain died, and one of the first words out of everybody's mouth, a lifelong career of just service to the people. All right, I'm going to grant it. I didn't like McCain, and I don't know what the hell the news media outlets are feeding us about his military history. So I want to leave that off the plate because I got no proof of what I really believe he was in the military. I'm going to leave that off the plate. But once he got into government, oh, his service for the people. He worked for the people. Holy crap. You know how rich these people are? I'll say it again. I'll ask you again. When have you ever heard of a servant being richer than the boss? We're supposedly the boss. Yet our taxes keep going up. And no matter how bad the economy gets, no matter how bad the housing market crashes, No matter how bad the dollar collapses, it never seems to adversely affect politicians. How is that? Never hear of any politician being forced to sell a home due to the housing market and the bankers' corruption. No, it never adversely affects them. The financial storms. As a matter of fact, our servants are making laws that for us that they don't have to abide by. One of them is the healthcare. They don't need to use the same healthcare we're mandated we must use. You're not allowed insider trading. They are allowed insider trading. I'm not just saying that, folks. That is a true statement. The whole secret to the game is they must trick you into believing you are the boss and you are free, but you are neither. Once that pyramid of truth collapses, then things will change. But unfortunately, we are the only ones who realize it. They are not our servants. They do not perform a service for me. They believe they are the true owners. And I want that word also to sink in. They are the true owners of this land, the United States, and its citizens, and every other country. And their governments feel the same way. They are the owners. They are the chosen. And goddamn, if an outsider gets in, they'll destroy them. That's the mentality. They are the owners. You are the slaves. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning into the Overtaxed Taxpayer channel. That's my rant for the evening. I just want to say hello to a few people, and then we can talk about silver. That is how life is. It truly is. Let me ask you folks a question. Have you ever taken a multi-hour drive from one city to another? I mean, long drives, 5-hour drives. Have you ever driven 5 hours? I've always said this, and I coined this phrase: slavery never ended, folks. Whether you're white, black, Mexican, male, female, Chinese, slavery never ended. It was perfected. It was perfected. And yes, there still is such a thing as plantations. My plantation is called Tucson, Arizona. Your plantation might be called Brooklyn, New York, or Los Angeles, California, or Las Vegas, or someplace in Colorado. But those are plantations. God forbid you take a drive and you see miles upon miles, hours upon hours of barbed wire on both sides of the road. Private property. 100% of the way. I go from Tucson to California, 100% of the way is barbed wire on both sides of the freeway. Private property, government owned. God forbid you pull your car over, jump that barbed wire, millions of acres vacant. God forbid you set up camp there. You just left the plantation. We got a slave that's free. We need to go round him up. Take a long drive one day. And look, no matter how rugged the road is, there's barbed wire on one side of the fence and the other. Oh, you're allowed to leave the plantation. Don't get me wrong. And you can go to another plantation. I can get in my car and go to the plantation called Tampa Bay, Florida. God forbid I pull over before then and cross any one of those barbed wires and try to live off the system. God forbid. I'll be arrested, fined. And every now and then, if you want to go into the mountains to camp, you have to pay for, my wife's home, so she's going to try to talk to me. You're going to have to pay for a licensing, a camp fee, or fishing fee. That gives you permission to go off the plantation for a couple of days. But that license, it's only good for a couple of days, folks, and you need to come back onto the plantation. It's all metaphorical, but it's true. Think about it for a second. Next time you go for a ride and you're on that road for hours, look on both sides of the fence. I'm sorry, look on both sides of your car. You'll see barbed wire. I call it corrals. One corral to corral, a run leading from one plantation to another. Millions upon millions of acres in this country of empty lands. Yet we are corralled in plantations called cities. Just think about it. Try to think outside the box. Hey, sweetie, I'm doing a video real quick, okay? So, I had to go back in rant mode. Saying hello to a few people. Stephen Parsons, Scratch My Ass, I already mentioned. Blue Rose in South Florida, Doug Larrabee. Demon Hunter, hey, Overtax from Vegas, aka the house always wins. That's right. It's stock market. House always wins. That's all I need to tell you about the stock market. Silver, you got a chance. D's Nuts and Esoteric, the Empire's Post. Evening, Overtax taxpayer. Thank you so much. The Empire's Post again. Claudio, Golden Years. Hi, I love watching your channel. You tell it like it is. I try to. I really do. It's a true statement. I try to tell you exactly what's here. Not what's on a script. Now, this is from a postcard. I don't have a script. It all comes here. And that's why sometimes I'll make vernacular mistakes and whatnot. I'll misinterpret things. I'll forget something. I don't know where that came from, but Joel Day. Yeah, it's a global game. It really is. The game is keeping the slaves from realizing that they are slaves. Keeping the slaves thinking that the people that rule over us, not for us, the people who rule over us are our servants. That's the game. The Empire's Post, divide and control, going on a long time, going on for a long time, most, if not all, status quo, blah, 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 blah. These people, they feel they are the owners. And God forbid somebody that is not part of their club, and their club has nothing to do about how much money they have. Trump is a good example. A lot of money, but he's not part of their club. How dare he take control and undo everything they've accomplished? How dare he? We must gain back control is their attitude. At all costs, no matter how bad we look, we must regain control, and then we will bombard the people 24/7. Why we're lucky they got rid of Trump. Octoman's PC, have you secured the basic resources, space, water, food, energy? Reyes, they're rich. Fonzie, Rusa Cogburn is in the house. Thank you so much. Negan is in the house. I did mention Ray S. Who else is here? The Empire's Post. Pietro Rizzo. Is that how you say the name? Hey, by the way, can you all folks just smash that like button for the hard work I'm doing? I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tail 7, keep streaming, man. You got it. And I got a video I'm going to post right after this, a real bona fide video. I hope you come back and watch it. It might even get banned or demonetized. That's how a lot of my controversial videos go. They get either banned, demonetized, or basically shadow banned, where like only 1,000 people will see it in a matter of 3 days. Whereas when I started my YouTube channel, I would have 3,000, 4,000 views in 1 day. Tail 7, Blue Rose. It's not buffering on my end. I hope it's just you, Blue Rose. Not that I hope it's just you. I hope it's not everybody, but you're the only person that has stated that it's buffering. No spec stacker. I've drove coast to coast in 26 hours. Yep. I've drove from Tucson to Tampa in about 23 hours. It nearly killed me, but I did it. Who else is in the house? See something, say something. One morning we'll wake up, open our front doors, and see America changed forever. We have. Jimbo is in the house. Thank you. America is not the America I grew up in. Just the morality is changed. How parents dress their little children has changed. Parents now dressing their little girls to look like, I'm going to say it, prostitutes. Freaking 8 years old, and they're wearing. The morality of people have changed. The way we talk to one another. You know, wife and I will walk in one day in Universal Studios. It's a crowded day. We're walking one way, a group of kids are crossing our paths. One of them doesn't even acknowledge us, doesn't see us, turns, spits right in the path of us walking. Didn't even, no shame, not even a blink, turns his head and keeps walking in his group. Big freaking loogie right in the path of us. Morality in general is just piss poor. It really is. And it only gets worse. It only gets worse. Jimbo, 8-year-old boys being dressed up as drag queens. Yep, and the little girls are being dressed up like hookers. Got my Chinese dragon stay, pretty cool, but not amazing. Hey, but hey, silver is silver, off grid. Thank you so much, off grid. Skywatcher and the dance studios teaching them young girls to dance all seductive. Yep, I hear you, folks. I really do. Morality has. You know, I don't even like to go out anymore sometimes. I just, you know, the other night we went to, I wouldn't call it a bar. It was a bar/restaurant. It was a, thank God it's Friday, TGIF type of restaurant. Now, in my day, we would not take infants to those type of places. One, very loud. Two, they should be in bed by infants. We're talking infants in bed by 4 or 5 o'clock at night at the latest. But I go there and I turn around and you got these young kids, parents. They look at them. They're 20, 21 if they're lucky. If they're lucky, cradling an infant with loud music banging around them and people drinking around them. Oh, I got to go out. This is my night. It's Friday night. That's their attitude. It truly is. And I think it's the fault of the news media outlets. It's the fault of television. It truly is. The fault of advertisements, and it truly is. Sex sells. Money is God. It appears that money has become God. Anyway, folks, I've gone on for about, I think it's 20 minutes. It's a decent live chat. I appreciate you folks watching. Again, if you would, just smash the like button. I'm going to post a video in the next 20 minutes. It should be up in a half an hour. I appreciate if you come back and watch that video, and leave a comment there as well. I gotta run. You folks have a great day. Dinner is awaiting. Take care.